karma. Now we can look at this as ancestral karma. All who have lived before us in our lineage is ancestral, and generational karma would be considered possibly your most immediate family, or immediate lineage, meaning your mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, and so on and so forth. So, in regards to generational karma, we are all taught. It is a nurture versus nature thing. We were all brought into this world as a blank slate, closest to source, and we are nurtured by our parents or our guardians, and also we are a product of our environment. So with that being said, if, for example, we had a certain amount of turbulence with our own mother, there's a possibility that we would have a certain amount of turbulence in that same relation to our child, because we haven't mended or healed from the turbulent relationship. Now, you can also learn from people's mistakes. Now, I believe that when you are born into a family, you are to learn from that specific soul group. With that being said, there's many things that I could talk about in regards to soul, quote-unquote, tribes, but that will be another video. In regards to generational karma, this is more so to explain the fact that on some level, when we perpetuate the behavior in which is learned, that could be a specific kind of karma. We are dealing with the lack thereof, or for lack of a better word, the lack in that relationship, thus lacking in our relationship to our own child. And unless you are learned out of that behavior, unless you have practiced forgiveness and mastery of oneself, then it's very difficult not to perpetuate that same behavior to our own child. It is all because we are vessels that were meant to learn. Our brains were meant to absorb information, and that's why within, I think it is the first 3 years of being born, we absorb our most information. It's easiest to learn languages during that period of time. It's how we relate to our world, how we relate to our mother beings, which could be our grandmothers, our mothers, our guardians, the feminine aspect of our guardians. And that's not saying that same-sex couples do not, on some level, there will be one partner who is more of a quote-unquote nurturer, and that will be how we relate to our children, how we caregive, how we kind of relate to our partners, our romantic partners, how we relate to other family members, how we relate to even our pets. So you have to understand that when we are dealing with generational karma or ancestral karma, it's a lot to do with, on some level, when it comes to our immediate family, how we were brought up, and if it was a somewhat strained relationship, to learn our way out of that, to learn from their mistakes, to learn forgiveness. And if it's ancestral karma, more so, that is something that would have to be done in a regressive state in order to really understand the frequency in which that ancestor held and what they asked for, asked the universe for, and why we are the bearer of that karma. That would be on a more spiritually grown level, but we all have the capacity in order to learn to do so. So this has been generational karma, ancestral karma.